wrist set. Man, I get so many questions about what's the proper wrist set? How much wrist set do you need to have? When should I set my... Okay, let's downshift here. First of all, what does wrist set do for you? Well, it's going to give you a little bit more speed, particularly for those of you that can't maybe rotate your body as much. So I'm going to talk to you about how to get wrist set, and then when do you get wrist set. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Get those questions over to us in the chat, and tell your friends about what we've got going on here, okay? Now, I'm going to do this here. Do a couple things. One, I'm going to light up my 2, and get the right camera angle. 3, I'm going to take a tee, and I'm going to put the tee, as you've seen many people do, put it in the butt end of the club, just like that, okay? So it's just something that gets your eye looking. Now, there are a lot of different ways and places to hinge the wrist. I'm not so concerned about that right now, as I'm just trying to teach you, because what I want to do is I want to teach you how to maximize your wrist hinge, and then we'll start talking about, well, when do we do all this, and what's the proper amount, okay, or appropriate amount. So what I want to do is I want you to feel that you're going to set the club as much as you can. By the time that the club is perpendicular to the ground, I want you to feel like you've got all your wrists set there, okay? So it's literally like you're not doing anything except just lifting the club head up into the air. And then you're going to let it float, okay? Now I'm going to record this. So we're going to set it early. Okay? Now, come over here and look at what this looks like. So, set it really early now. There you go. Arm parallel to the ground, which is right about there. And the club is already past 90. So that means this is going to keep setting and might even get past parallel to the ground. Not quite. Not quite. Now, I'm going to save that one. And on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to not set the wrists at all. And then I'm going to show you the difference. Now, there's always going to be some wrist set. But I'm not going to set like I set the last one. Okay? Now, I don't know whether those golf balls went the same distance, and frankly, I'm not concerned about it. But what I want you to see is this is me not setting the wrists. So again, I'm going to get to where my arm is about parallel to the ground, which is right about there, and the club is not to 90 degrees yet. Now let's contrast that with what I did with the swing before. Hold on. So those are about the same height. This from the Titleist over to my shoulder, right about there. And this over to my shoulder. Maybe they're a little bit different. Maybe I got to bring this one just down a little bit. So probably there, okay? So those are about the same. And yet look at where the club is. So the shaft of the golf club on here is not quite to 90, and the shaft here is well past that 90-degree angle, okay? And it's a completely different motion that's taken place. I've lost some width with the wrist set early. My hands are backing away. The right arm is the right arm has a lot more width to it than over here. You can see how low this elbow is here versus this elbow, the right elbow there. You can see how much higher that is. So, quite a bit different. Now, watch what happens when we get up to the top. So you've seen this other one when it gets up to the top here. This goes right there. And then watch this one. That's at the top right there. So very, very different looks. Now, there's one other thing that is really dramatically different, and that is this left arm right here. That versus this. This almost has a bend in it right there, where this one is pretty straight. So you can see how much different those arms look like they are. And as a result, I've created a little bit more speed, a little bit more potential speed with that hinge. Differently, but a little bit more potential speed. So let me get rid of that, and let me get rid of that. And now, get back to the setting of the club. So how do we set the club so we can get a little bit more effortless power, okay? Because when you swing a club and you don't get any wrist set, now you have to maximize the body turn. And there's just some people that can't do that. So what I like to feel is that I'm going to point this club to the ground before my hand gets to my hip over there. And then when my arm is parallel, I want it to feel like I'm fully set there. So I'm hinging it right away, and then it goes up. Now, what you feel and what's real will likely be two different things, but you've got to get a sense of what you're feeling here. So set it right there, and then go. Here we go. Now, that swing to me feels like I'm literally doing nothing with my body. It feels like my body is just, it's just still. Hinge. Let's try it again. Hinge. Okay, that feels pretty good. Now, back to this other thing. What's the appropriate amount of hinge? Where should you start getting hinge? Well, if you're trying to get more hinge, the baseline is something that I just kind of mentioned in passing a while back, and that is when my arm is parallel to the ground, I want to feel like I've got a 90-degree angle between my arm, my lead arm, and the club shaft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel gradual set, not abrupt or quick set like I was starting with, but just gradual wrist set. So I'm going to go like that. Okay? It's here. I'm setting it with my right arm, my right hand. I'm setting it there, and I go that way. Now that one there, that's the appropriate wrist set. My body felt like it was working together with my wrist set. I got a little bit more club head speed, 81 there on a 7-iron now, 112 ball speed. That was pretty good. I didn't go for crease. I just went for the fluidity of it. So my body is kind of dancing along with the set. My trail arm, my right arm, is setting it so that by the time I'm parallel, I've got that club shaft perpendicular. So I call it parallel and perpendicular, okay? Parallel to the ground with my lead arm, perpendicular to the ground with the club shaft. All out of the right hand. That one was munched. I mean, dead center of the club face, 115 miles an hour ball speed there. Again, 83 miles an hour of club head speed. Normally my 7-iron is like a 165 club. That one there stretched to 170. And again, didn't really go at it hard. So you want to learn how to set the club properly. I like to feel the set come out of that trail hand. I love this little T drill, so I'm getting this sense. I can see the T drill. I want to see the T right there early as I'm parallel and perpendicular. That one there went a little bit even faster still, a little higher. Let's see what we got out of that. That one's going to sniff on 175. That one there is right at 173, so pretty good. Let's see if I can stretch one past there. I used to do this drill all the time. Oh yeah, that was munched. That one there did get to 175. Look at that one. Come on up. I'm going to gloat a little bit here. That one there was really, really good. 92 apex, which I love. Club head speed at 84 miles an hour. Ball speed at 117. That's normally the 6-iron stuff that I get. This is what my 6-iron might look like. 173, 176. 117 ball speed, launching under 19. So like I said, I like to launch between 17 and 19. That one there is a really, really good one for this 7-iron. So you want to try to get a little bit more distance. You want to try to understand that wrist set. You don't want that club flopping around and doing all that other stuff. What you want to get the feeling of is with that T in the grip there, you want to get the feeling of that T is pointing to the ground. When this arm is parallel, that club shaft now is perpendicular to the ground. So up here, boom, then it extends. It'll lengthen out that swing. It'll give you a little bit more club head speed. And when you start hitting it into the center of the club face, you'll start getting that ball speed, and you'll start getting a little bit more distance.
To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.